What is up, YouTube, and how are you doing today? And it's been a month. Sorry about the wait. Sorry about the way that I'm just like uploading. Yeah, it was inconsistent. But I'm back today, and I'm actually going to be talking about credit cards and why it's technically important to build up your credit score. But it's going to be a really short video, but we're going to make sure it's worth it. Now, before we start the video, I would appreciate it if you subscribe and turn on the bell notification to the channel. It really helps. And like the video. If you would like to, comment down below. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's get into this video. Yeah, sorry for the wait. Anyways, I've been busy a lot with other stuff like sales and looking into my credit. But yeah, we're going to be actually getting into more about how you can build your credit and why is it important to actually build your credit score. First things first, I actually have been building my credit score since I was 18. So that was basically since 2020. That's when I've got my first credit card, which is basically a Discover, but it was a secured card. It wasn't like no regular credit card, like nothing like that fancy. But now that I'm actually got good credit, I'm able to get any kind of credit card that I really like. Now, technically, some credit cards do have different benefits. Some can actually give you free traveling. Some can give you cash back. Others can give you money back from gas or from shopping. It all depends on what kind of credit card you actually buy and get yourself into. Usually the top credit cards I recommend is just Chase, American Express, or if you want, you can get some stores. I got an Apple card and it actually works perfectly fine. It's a metal, it looks nice, it's white, and I used it only one time just to finance a nice little MacBook. But other than that, I really just use it on daily as well. I have a credit limit of 2,500. I'm gonna try to increase it. Haven't been able to ask for them to increase it lately, but I think I'm gonna be asking for them to increase it later. But credit cards are actually important whenever you're actually looking forward to building your credit score. Whether it's you just trying to finance a car or you trying to get a mortgage on a house. Having credit score is actually really good to have established, because if you don't have any credit score, banks aren't going to be able to trust you with giving them their full money. You can be going out there and getting houses, cars. Let's say, for example, you out here, you got the money for a SRT or a Hellcat. You're thinking to yourself damn, I really want this Hellcat or this SRT, a Scat Pack or a Demon. Well, Demons aren't being sold anymore, don't kill me for that, but you want a Hellcat or something, you go out there, boom, they tell you, damn, we ain't seen you in the system before. But how you gonna put down? You can't just go to one of those little third party dealerships, because then they're on some weird stuff, so you got to be able to put your money into credit cards. You got to be able to use credit cards. What I like to do whenever I get a credit card is I basically use those cards for whatever I'm already to buy. And by what I mean basically if I'm gonna go out there and buy for example a cologne or regular groceries or something for my hair, I can be able to just use my credit card and I'll just pay it back the next month instead of just using my debit card and not getting anything in return. With that, at least you'll be able to show some credit history, that you actually pay stuff on time and that you never lag behind. Credit scores actually help you a lot, especially when you're trying to actually get trust from the bank. The bank will look into it and be like, okay, we're able to trust you with this type of money. Here you go. Here's the money that we're going to give you. They'll be able to look at you, look in your credit history and be like, all right, here's the money for what you want, the Hellcat or something like that. You have the down payment and boom, you're able to actually buy the Hellcat or whatever you are looking for. It can even be a house if, all you have to do is just establish some credit, get some credit history going. But make sure it's always at least few years or more, because they don't really trust newer credits. They go for stuff that are maybe more than a year or two. At least more than 2 years would be great. And even if you were trying to get a house, you'd probably make you need 3 or 5 credit cards just so you can get a good deal on a house, a good mortgage and a good interest rate. Now, if you already are into credit cards and building your own credit, I'm about to have another video later on talking about how you can actually fix your credit if it's bad, and other stuff on how to actually recover your credit, make sure that it looks good, up in the 700, the 800, all of that good stuff. But yeah, credit actually helps you in multiple factors. No matter what you are trying to do, it can be anything. Like I said before, could be for a car. Now let's make another example. Let's say you're trying to buy a house, or I'm not sure, don't kill me for this, but I think renting an apartment also does that too sometimes, where they actually check your credit score and they actually determine, you know, if they can trust you with being, you know, renting out their apartment, renting out their place. You know, they try to check your credit score, see if you're good with payments. They make sure that you haven't missed a payment at all. You know, they try to see if they can trust you enough to be in that apartment, you know, without missing a payment. Same goes for mortgages and houses. You know, they'll be able to, like, you know, let's say you one day decide, hey, I have the down payment for a house, but let's say you go up to the bank and they tell you, hey, we don't see you in the system for credit, we can't trust you giving you a mortgage. That's the problem. You need credit to actually get a mortgage for a house. So let's say, you know, someone with a good score of, like, you know, a 750 or something just like goes up to the bank and he has, you know, he has the money. They're going to be able to trust him more rather than someone who doesn't have credit or who has a credit that's below 620. Basically what I'm saying is, having a credit score, even when it's high, you know, even when it's like around like 620 to like up to like, you know, 800, you know, it helps a lot because the banks will actually be able to trust you with a mortgage. And, you know, the higher the credit score, you know, the better the interest rate will be. And that's another one that I forgot to mention. You know, credit score actually helps you whenever you are financing. The interest rate will be a little lower the higher your credit score will be. And, you know, it also helps you get accepted into anything you actually want. You know, like I've once said before, or I've said this one time, but, you know, I actually went into a dealership and I asked them, like, hey, what can I get with a 720? And they were like, you know, you can get anything you want, because that actually has a lot of leverage. Whenever you are trying to actually look for something to finance, you have a lot of leverage when you have very high credit. Sometimes credit card helps you a lot, but, you know, also having like maybe at least finance one big item, you know, can also help too. There's one person that's actually told me before, like, hey, you know, at least get maybe like one car loan, because at least it will help you and show that you have actually paid back a big loan before. And, you know, I haven't really done that yet, but from what I heard, he said that, and I have a pretty good credit score right now, and I'm planning to buy a duplex or like something to, you know, maintain as a property, you know, be a landlord basically. But I have to show them that they can trust me with big loans, even though I have credit cards. I have at least 3 credit cards right now. Just like how I mentioned, you know, Chase is one of the banks that you need to go and get a credit card from. They're pretty good, and if you're able to get an American Express, and if you're just starting out, get a secured credit card. It can be with anybody. I recommend Discover, but you can also go to Citibank. You know, you can go to like Sunco. You can go to anyone and get a credit card. You know, it can be secured. All you have to pay is like maybe like a minimum of $200, you know, up to like $500. I don't know if this is for all banks, but from what I did for Discover after 8 months of, you know, using that credit card, I actually got back the money that I paid before. You know, the $200, I actually got it back 8 months after, and they increased my credit limit. But yeah, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. You know, don't forget, subscribe and turn on the bell notification. I'll see you in the next video.